Best friend bracelets.
I didn't say that.
Best friend bracelets.
I didn't say that.
Word.
And if you only have the orange and blue, or you can be in our club, Gary. You can't.
Oh, you're
be in our
such a
club.
jerk. You're such a jerk. It's so
Well, I
rare that
can't
there's
be in
something
that
that.
club.
I'm not in that club either.
Yeah, see, so there. Yeah.
You're all alone, Dom.
JD's gonna be in that club soon.
Am I?
Find it. He'll find
You
it.
gotta make it happen.
About those bracelets, though, shouldn't we all have one?
Yeah, right.
Sure. If you want a bracelet, we can make a bracelet for you.
It'll
Seven
say
best friends
Mythic
that anyone
Buddy.
can have.
Mythic Best.
Can we number them like who's number one and who's number
Mythic Bestie 72.
thing 1, thing 2, thing 3.
Yeah, why not?
You're thing 7 and 8.
Sure. I can take 2 slots.
Damn.
I'm big like that.
All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 24, Breaking the Mold. This is the newest podcast coming at you here each and every single week on the Realm of Collectors YouTube channel. Audio version of this podcast is also available. iTunes, Google Play, all audio platforms. If you're watching us on YouTube, please remember to subscribe, like the video, subscribe to the channel, please, if you haven't done so already. It's absolutely free, does not cost a thing. We really, really appreciate it. And hop into the live chat below and chop it up with the rest of the ROC fam. Going to get the fam in on these topics that we're going to be talking about tonight. This episode of Breaking the Mold is brought to you by Crashbox Customs, the official Mezco supplier of the Realm of Collectors. Visit Crashbox Customs on social media for all your Mezco Once Wealth needs. Mention the word Realm when placing an order, and you'll get a special gift with your purchase. Check them out. Crashbox Customs all over social media. I'm Harrican BX. What's up? What's up? Let's say hello to the rest of the crew, see how they're doing. First up, Energon Addict. How you doing tonight, Pop?
What's good, Jose? What's up, everybody? Happy
Good, bro.
Tuesday. Happy to be here. Looking forward to today, actually.
Same here, man. Same here. It's good to see your face.
Oh, why, thank you.
Always a pleasure.
All right. How you doing, bro? How's everything going? How's your week going so far?
So far, so good, honestly. Yeah, I'll fill you guys in a little bit and more later as the show goes on. I'm sure it'll fit in somewhere. But the room got painted today, so that's like the next step. So I'm excited about that.
Ooh, that sounds good. Sounds like
Wait,
progress.
what room is this, Dave?
Whoa.
My soon-to-be toy room.
Exactly. That's I didn't know if everybody knew that you were in the
I think everybody knows what
construction.
I'm talking about now, but
We all.
Okay.
The
Brag
discuss-
about it. We know.
I'll brag about it when it's done. You know what I mean? One day I just want to come on here and not tell anybody what day it's going to be, and you'll all be surprised at what you see behind you.
Nice.
Whoa. Yes.
You're gonna set up your little podcast station up in there too in the collection room?
I hope so. I hope the Wi-Fi is pretty good up there. I haven't tested it out, but if it is, then yeah. If
Can't
not, I'll
wait.
have to fucking do like a little sideshow. Take the phone up there or something. Do like a JD walkthrough when he takes us through his house of toys.
Dude, tell Tim to get on that and set up your Wi-Fi for
I
you.
know,
you
the
know?
fucking Germans are so lazy these days, bro. Fucking guy.
Pretty dope, bro. Pretty dope. Can't wait. Can't wait till that day comes. All right. All right. Next up, the original meat bag himself, JD. How are you?
What's up, everybody? How are all the
Hey,
meat bags doing in meatbag land?
Very well. How are you? How are you doing?
I am well. I'm very well.
Nice. What's going on? How's your week going?
Pretty good. Today is my first day back to work after the weekend because I don't work Sundays or Mondays.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, just painting and collecting and painting, building, normal things.
Nice.
you know.
How was your first day back at work? Is it like the typical Mondays when everybody's like, "Oh, Monday back to work"? How is it for you when you go back to work?
It's fine.
Does anyone come up to you and say, "Sounds like someone got a case of the Tuesdays"?
Tuesday.
No,
I
it's
knew
not
that was
like
coming
that.
this way.
No,
Where he was
we
going.
just if we don't, usually Tuesdays the week starts out kind of slow, so we just kind of hang out, maybe watch a movie or whatever, shoot a shit,
Okay.
just hang out,
Sounds
clean.
like
We end up cleaning and stuff.
Okay. Sounds like a good day to me. Besides the cleaning and stuff.
It's easy. We take turns, so it's not so much.
Do you guys only sterilize on Tuesday? So if you're getting a tattoo, it's best to come in on Tuesday or Wednesday?
Yep. Uh-huh.
I got you.
Yep. Spit shined.
Nice. All right. Next up, the analyzer, Brian Brink. How are you?
Yo, what's up? I don't know who's happier. Me? Or the revenge that MPO1 is getting right now?
I love that picture thread that you put up on Instagram. That was fucking awesome.
I couldn't help myself.
It was funny. Really funny. That was good stuff. How you doing tonight, man?
Good. I'm doing good.
How's the week going? Going well?
Week's doing well. I got a short week this week, so I'm pretty happy about that. I have a pile of loot coming hopefully this weekend, so I'm excited to see what's in there because I didn't really check. So lots of wonderful surprises.
Expecting a Baldwin drop. Very nice.
Oh, no, nothing like that.
All right, sweet. Next up, G Money. How are you, man?
Dude, I'm doing well. It was a good weekend, and I feel like I always have to preface this because it's going to sound worse than what I mean it to. But I was living the bachelor life.
The what?
Bachelor life?
Massachusetts.
The bachelor life.
So Friday, I had some wings and fish tacos, and I watched Thor Ragnarok like 3 times on Netflix.
Nice.
It was great. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I did, dude. I liked it. Listen, let's start it right now. I liked it
Living
better
on the edge, bro.
each
I
time.
swear.
Jesus Christ, man. Gary, I watched that movie this weekend too, and I was like, I don't remember it being this bad.
I was about to say,
you
Brent's
gotta-
about to fight you. I heard him on another
Dude,
podcast say he hated
First
it.
of all, you gotta really listen to the dialogue. Like there was a lot of times I was just kind of watching and not really paying attention. But yes, it's a lot of that slapsticky humor but the one-liners, if you really think about it, I don't know, they were pretty good. I enjoyed it. I got to agree with I think Jisk said it on ETR months ago, so I'm a little late. But those other 2 characters, Korg and Meek, if they made a movie with those 2 guys,
Yeah.
I'd watch it.
It's true. So yeah, once Korg showed up, I was pretty happy. And then the only thing I kind of laughed at was when what's her name? The Valkyrie had Loki tied up, and then Thor threw that thing at his head.
Yeah,
that kind of made me laugh.
Look, and I think my Marvel Universe crush has changed from Scarlet Witch to Hela. So I don't know.
To
Got
Hela?
that going. Yeah. Yeah,
she's
That's
Yeah,
what happens
like
when
that.
you watch it 3 times alone with no
I
back
could
around.
co-sign that.
Yeah.
I could kind
Dave
of.
said what I was thinking.
He starts
I didn't want to.
Googling Kate
Pause,
didn't wanna
rewind,
say
pause,
it.
rewind.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I saw some booty.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a side boob.
Exactly.
Oh.
Wait, how much is that Hot Toys again? Is it still up for pre-order?
I could
No,
co-sign
it was
that.
good. It was
I
good. It was
mean-
good. And then work is busy. So
So if you got
Go ahead,
her
Brian.
as a Hot Toys figure, would you just use her head as a clothes hanger for your other Hot Toys figures? No?
wait, say that
No
again?
laughs?
Oh, because of the horns. I got it. I see where you're
So-
going. I see what you did there.
Womp, womp, womp.
It's just something when animated Hulk talks to Chris Hemsworth as Thor and calls him baby arms. It just cracks me up. I just think it's funny.
Yeah. I mean, if you just see the movie as a comedy, then you enjoy it as that, and that's it. It's just it struck people.
Jeff Goldblum plays the same guy he's been playing since The Fly in 1986. You know what I mean? He kind of just
It's so
talks the
true.
same.
So fucking true.
He just talks the same. He's just got a different wardrobe on. I don't know. No,
I
I
was
enjoyed it,
watching
but it was-
Jurassic Park.
Independence Day, everything. He's the same fucking guy.
Nice.
All right, we got some good stuff to talk about later on tonight, though. So we won't talk about a movie from 6 months ago.
All right. I'm glad you enjoyed it all 3 times. and more.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it again just to make Brian angry.
Right now-
Message him every time I enjoy it.
Right now, I'm in the middle of Robotic Overlords on Netflix. Some movie with fucking Ben Kingsley's in it. I don't know. It's interesting so far.
Kingsley.
I'm 20 minutes in.
All right, Big Dom, how are you tonight, man?
Doing, guys.
What's good? What's
I
good?
know.
I was sick over the weekend. I had a cold, so I kept it low. So I'm just coming out of a cold right now.
So were you babied and pampered during this cold, or does your wife make you just fend for yourself?
Yeah, you don't know my wife.
Look, he's looking around.
Uh-huh.
He might get hit with a fucking chancleta or something.
She's right here. I just gotta be careful because she has a hot pot on the stove right now. So I don't want that on my face.
No, definitely not. So still recovering a little bit.
A little bit. But I'm all good. I'm ready for tonight.
All right, glad you're feeling a lot better, man.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, I'm well. Everything is well with me. I had a good weekend. Spent some time in the city.
Yeah, it looked good. It looked cool. Like you guys were hitting some of the stuff that you probably live close by, but you never really take the time to utilize.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly. I kind of spoke about it last week on my thing. Like we don't utilize the things that we do in the city. So just Jasenia looked up an exhibit that's right there in Times Square for Natural Geographic, a 4D type theater. So there was no like live animals there, and it was pretty quick, like a 45-minute presentation, but pretty cool. You know what I'm saying, to kind of go and do something different and out of the ordinary.
Was it any better than the exhibits that used to be in Times Square 20 years ago?
Oh man, opinions may vary. But it was a good time, and we went to like one of the local little pubs there and had some drinks. And
Wait, Brian's joke went over my head.
Prostitutes.
What am I missing? Oh, okay.
yeah,
No, I really
Square.
feel stupid. I really.
20 years
All right,
ago.
I wasn't trying to be funny.
I'll try and be less clever.
Yeah, we're working on
I
that.
mean, I got to stoop down to that Ragnarok humor. I see where I got level. I got.
So good times with the fam. And so that's it. So let's get into what we're gonna talk about tonight. There was like a lot of Transformers reveals that we've gotten like over the last week. Before we move on, new arrival. I thought he was gonna miss out. Extra Zero. How are you tonight, bro? Hello.
Quiet.
We hear no
Silence.
Talk.
Make noise come out of your mouth. That'll work.
Speak.
Oh, maybe you can't hear us.
Maybe he doesn't know he's in here.
Hey guys, I'm doing really well. Doing pretty good.
All right, Dom's gonna impersonate.
Oh, is he here?
There you go.
What's up, Extra? What's going on, brother?
Jordan, what's up, man?
Oh, he's out. Okay, let's move
We didn't
on.
like you anyway.
Extra Zero's having technical difficulties. He'll be with us soon.
You know what it is? His hair wasn't up,
Yeah.
so he's probably not getting the service.
That's it. Reception's all key.
So, got some reveals over the past week. We got some grainy pictures of the Masterpiece 3.0 Optimus Prime that's been teased in some photos. I think over the past couple of months, like you're seeing little bits and pieces, and we were always wondering if it was a new Masterpiece Prime. And at one of these shows, I think over the weekend, a photo was put in the group. At first grainy, and then actually a pretty decent one showing Optimus in his robot mode and him in his alt mode.
I kind of like what they were. I kind of like what they were doing. It was like a mafia style, just showing body parts first. I thought we were gonna get an arm, like got a leg, an arm, just like little body parts at a time until we understand that it's Optimus Prime.
Yeah,
Where'd you get the mafia out of that? You live in Jersey for too long, bro. We found Tony Farm last Tuesday.
I see body parts always on the turnpike, right alongside of the turnpike. Body parts all the time.
Not a crosswalk.
Real quick though, I want to ask all you guys just straight down the line: are you in? Are you getting the figure? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I jumped the gun, but yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well,
It's
so
okay.
Dave, yes. Brink,
Yes.
Dom,
The figure is getting me, man.
of course. G Money,
Yeah, I'm gonna get it.
JD.
Yeah, he's getting.
Rob,
He's getting two.
No.
Yep.
If I do, I'm only getting
yes or no. So
We're
you're
getting
getting
one.
So you're getting at least one. You will get one.
maybe.
Extra zero. You with us tonight?
I finally am.
Hey!
What's up, brother? How
There's
are
a
you,
zero
man? What's
for
going
the
on?
boys.
Oh, I'm hanging in there. What figure are you talking about?
Okay, just brought up the Masterpiece 3.0 Optimus Prime. Was just
Oh
wanted to-
yeah, that's an easy yes.
definite.
Mhm.
So everybody in on the panel. So okay, so this is kind of something we've talked about before in the past. Getting upgrades for figures, and like somehow some people say, hey, I'm done. Once this figure comes out, my Masterpiece collection, I'm done. But as you see, they're upgrading older figures, prior releases, and stuff like that. And we've touched on it before. And now down the line, we got it down the line. Everybody's gonna get this, myself included. I'm in, of course.
Now,
So
do we get to have our caveats to why we said yes or no?
I think
of
that's
course,
important.
that's what we're going to discuss right now. Like,
Oh,
I just wanted to know before we discussed it if everybody was in, because like I said, we've discussed in the past, and a lot of people that we know have been getting out of the Masterpiece collection, and we know that, some people said they're not into upgrades. Like, if they put out a new version of a certain character, the one that I got is good enough. So it's interesting. Everybody's in for the new Prime. And so what's everybody's thoughts on it just outright by seeing those photos? Like it? You're in? Like what you see?
Can I go first?
Of course. Go ahead.
I am extremely interested from an engineering perspective on this because from a G1 Prime perspective, this thing's going to transform way different than anything else that we've seen. Everything from the arms, even that front bumper on the truck. It doesn't fold up and flip over into the chest like the other two iterations. And dude, I'm really just even the tanks on the side on the legs are not the tanks that are displayed on his legs in robot mode. I'm just like, dude, this is fucking nuts. I'm really interested in that. I will say I'm picking it up, but I'm also going to follow up and say that it will not be on my Masterpiece shelf.
Really?
Correct.
Why is that, Brian?
Because he will not fit in with the rest of them. From an aesthetic standpoint.
See, I'm going to be just taking one of mine out, and that is going to be my Masterpiece Prime. Just because he fits I like cartoon accuracy for mine,
right?
And for me that fits. This is you kind of nailed what I like about it, where it's got the different aesthetic and different engineering. Because you think about it, since MPO1, we've had the wheels on the legs, and the whole idea was that the fists just kind of pop out of the what folds into the abdomen, is the forearms, and the fists pop out. I love MP10. It's not leaving my collection, but I think this is a better cartoon representation of Prime, and that's what I want. But right down to the white colors on the legs and the crotch.
Yep. And that's like I said, I'm extremely interested in this toy, but that's not the aesthetic I'm looking for from mine because I'm not a big tune guy.
James likes the crotch.
I do like the crotch. I want to touch it and figure out how it works, JD. How's that make you?
Hey, it'll be your toy. You do what you want with it.
Hey.
What did anybody else, Dom? What do you think of it? Just when you got to see it, actually.
I'm just getting it because Dave's getting it, and I gotta get it because Dave's getting it.
Well, I'm just getting it.
Whatever Dave gets, I get. No, I like the direction that they're going. The tune is what I like, and I really applaud Bad Cube doing what they're doing with Sideswipe and Red Alert and making it more tune accurate. And I think we're going to this is what's going to be. We're going to go down that road. They're going to make more, go back down what they've already done and make it more tune accurate. So
yeah. So you're on the fence. You're on the side that you're willing to swipe out your Masterpiece version to for the Bad Cube because you're liking the aesthetic more. You're willing to upgrade basically.
Yeah. I don't even consider it an upgrade. I'm not going to get rid of my Sideswipe. I'll probably put. Eventually, probably since they're going to go this route, maybe have a more toy accurate look and more tune accurate look, and have a toy and a tune because we're going to pretty much have both. So it's like you can fill the gaps in with other third parties, like for Inferno and Grapple, to get more of the toy look, and then fill the official with the cartoon look. So I think you're gonna have, with third party and official, I think you're gonna have both people who are more into the toy look, the more realistic look, like Brian, happy, and then you're gonna have more tune accurate individuals happy with regards to where they're going and the direction that they're going for the official. So
Yeah.
To add on to that, I kind of think that's kind of good news for third parties, because like in the case of Bad Cube, they can come out with something that has a toon aesthetic. Make toys, make toys, whatever you call them. They can come out with figures that have toon aesthetics. But to what Dom's saying is, you may have people that don't like this toon aesthetic, and the third party companies can come out with an Optimus Prime that's a real truck, or they could come out with some of these other figures that are going to get just the toon aesthetic. Like, I mean, you already have Inferno and Grapple, and we've got our third party Trailbreaker and Hoist. But if they were to go forward and do Runabout and Runamuck and just make them fake cars, some third party could come out and make them real cars, and that would tick somebody's box.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But it's starting to get a little slim, like you mentioned, though.
Yep.
It's like, yeah. So we'll see.
I
mean,
just,
the choice in characters is getting slim.
correct.
Yeah. Well, I guess hence these new updated versions of some of these like beloved characters, Yeah.
What gets me about the Prime is that with the Megatron, it had articulation for days. Same with Sunstreaker. With Sunstreaker, they kind of really showed it off. With Prime, they just really showed him in these stoic poses. And I think if people saw that he had way more articulation, because MB10's good, but he doesn't have a butterfly joint or an ab crunch. If they show him in some like really dynamic poses, to kind of match some of the weird like Sunbow poses, like JD's doing there, I think that it would probably get more people hyped up for it.
Yeah, for sure. We haven't actually seen a lot of chatter about that, at least not in the groups that I've been paying attention to. But yeah, the articulation has the potential to be pretty fucking nuts.
Yeah, that's a big factor for me getting it, of course, because I love that, to be able to take photos of that thing in every which way that you can think of.
And what I'd like? Oh, go ahead, Dom.
No, I just on a perspective on why now with Optimus, but I feel like they're doing it, and if they're doing Optimus because they're raising capital to do the other figures that we're looking for, like Hound, Jazz.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah, like I think yeah, I hope it is. Like, but if they're just doing the Optimus because they know that Optimus sells and they can get the money and raise the money to do those other characters, then I'm all for it. But
I'm wondering about that raise the capital thing.
Well, no, Dom's got a point.
We've been saying it for years. Like, and I just heard so many different things. Like, oh, we'll never get a Sunstreaker because it doesn't. Porsche or Lamborghini will never sign off on that, and shit. And I'm just like, and then he shows up. And I was just like,
I agree with Brian. It's BS. It's business decision. So like I'm getting it because I think it.
So what's okay?
I can't tell if it looks cool or not.
What is the business decision with Optimus Prime? Does Optimus Prime sell?
Correct. Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly right.
So why wouldn't they do a Hound? Why wouldn't they do a Hound right now?
Because I don't think those characters aren't as well known to the general public. That's the same reason they pump out like the hero characters and the villains, in every line, because they're just, the other ones aren't as known to the masses that it's looking for.
I'm saying, though, you don't think the fandom is ready and craving like a character like Hound that we've never really gotten in that type of form
the fandom is so emotionally,
before you get a
one
third
extreme to the other.
Prime,
people get angry. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm excited to get it because it's new, and I'd like to see where things have changed from 7+ years ago.
Yep.
And I have zero like feelings about being upset because it's not Cliff Jumper and it's not Jazz. And I think we've all done this long enough to know that no one's guaranteed anything. And even when someone offers to make it, we still complain and get upset about it when it's not exactly what we want. So
I just feel that with this Optimus Prime, they're doing it now because they know it's a money grabber. It'll get money.
They're a business, Dom. They should be grabbing all the money they can.
I'm not complaining. I'm not saying it's wrong. I think it's right that they're doing this. Because
let me interject with one thing here. let's go back to when MP10 first came out and he first got a stateside release. He sold out, and there was a period of time where you couldn't find him. The fact of the matter is, we are not the end-all, be-all masterpiece collectors, and in order to captivate a new audience, you have to have characters like Optimus Prime and Megatron be readily available. And this 3.0, whether we want other characters to be done or not, this is going to be what draws new collectors in. The people that previously could. Look at how many people had the Year of the Horse Prime as their masterpiece Prime for a long time. It was
Many people still do. I made a joke about it this weekend.
Yeah.
And we've got people in the chat that don't even have an MP10. So, Dom, don't you think Takaro's maybe doing this out of the goodness of their own heart to give the new collectors what they want in their collection?
Wow, that's a way to think of it.
The side of Brian.
I would like them to take a note from Bandai, and I'd like them to release this guy without a trailer. Like, have two flavors, have a more expensive one with the trailer and then one without, because, you know, how many of us are going to display that trailer?
Dude, what if the trailer turns into the Ark or some shit?
Fuck that.
No.
Well, you know what, Jordan, they have to give us another trailer because they need to make it flat gray. All the other trailers are silver.
I'm just saying, like, to release, you know, because, like, you know, Jose probably knows better. Well, Jose and Dave probably know pretty well. There's like different flavors of like Figuarts releases, and like you don't have to buy every Iron Man with the whole armor.
Flavors? Are you tasting those things?
Yeah. Don't hate, Gary. Don't hate.
I'm just saying. Hey, listen, I know Deluxe Baldwin likes to lick his action figures too. So
Hulk does not taste like a protein shake. It tastes like green ass and plastic. But
and T-Man mentioned, he's like, dude, they got a new Optimus. They need a new one because he doesn't match the new Megatron that came out.
Absolutely.
That's true.
I don't know if you guys remember, but when that Megatron aired, I said that MP10 was going to be redone. I said there's going to be a 3.0 coming out.
Yeah,
you know?
we've been saying
so
the Energon prognosticator.
Listen, I knew it was coming. Once they started going Toon, when they did the Sunstreaker, they did the Megatron, I said, you know what, this is bound to happen. When it happened, I wasn't even surprised. And it looks, it looks good. It's more Toon. It'll fit with the Megatron, and I think, like Zero was saying, you need that main hero character to draw in more people. You get an Optimus, and people might have been kind of like, I'm not gonna replace my Optimus, he's good enough, and I'll just get whatever new releases come out. But now Optimus is coming out, he's gonna look more Toon accurate, Megatron is, and if they do start revamping every other character, people are just gonna say, well, you know what, this is more Toon accurate. I'll have, like you said before, I'll have a toy version and I'll have a more Toon version.
Mm-hmm.
They know what they're doing. They're digging in our pockets. They hear what we're asking for. They're doing it. They're evolving.
They're not digging. We're just giving them our money every single time.
Yeah, but they know we're gonna do it.
Look at Marvel. Yeah. Look at even Hot Toys. Hot Toys does re-releases of character. I mean, they're probably doing another Bespin Luke. Are people going to be upset about that?
They got like 40 Iron Mans out there. People keep buying them.
Well, they're all different.
And to me, that's the allure. It's a new figure, it's new engineering and stuff like that. Is everybody happy though? Did you see the way the all mode looked with all the panel lining and stuff like that? Like, to me, that doesn't look better than the current MP10 that we have.
I think we just have to wait it out and see what it's going to look like painted. Yeah. Chances are it may not look as bad.
We all hated on Megatron and the shoulders, and now we all deal with it.
Jose, I do agree with you.
You know what I want, speaking of Megatron, is I want an updated Megatron accessory that's not the same one that came with MP01.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you want an updated small scale gun?
Yeah, because even Soundwave,
we'll need one that's flat gray.
But my third part. I decided my third party stuff wasn't going to be placeholders anymore. And same thing, like if a masterpiece figure gets replaced, I keep that as my alt mode figure. I don't have the space to display it yet, but like I kept the Apollyon. He's just permanently in gun mode, and I like that. I dig that everything kind of has its place. You have the realistic and you have the Toon, and I like the Toon for the bot mode, and I like knowing they can transform. I appreciate the engineering a lot, and I like flipping them back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look,
Now,
but-
Gary, would you pick and choose like going down this line now that it's being more tune accurate? Like we know you're not the type that picks up every piece. So like, do
Yeah.
you see yourself picking up more of these releases now because of
I'll
what
be
they're
honest.
doing?
Yeah, no, I mean, not that you always want me to lie to you about anything, but I could give
Oh, please
a
lie.
shit about tune or no, like I don't really care tune or toy or the battle. Between the two or the look or
Does it fit
like
in
one
T-Rex's
doesn't really.
mouth?
Yeah, exactly, Don. Listen, they'll pale in comparison to Voltron anyway. So
Yeah.
I don't know why I keep spending
Take a
money.
shot.
Yep. But yeah, no. So the toy or tune doesn't do anything. I think I've just gotten to a point where if I really like how it looks, I either like. It's not even about liking the character anymore, because I think there's been so many options over the last 5 or 6 years. I've gotten that out of my system. And it's more of either, like you said, seeing the engineering or just liking the toy because I think it looks cool or I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Or I like the alt mode, like those Stunticons, the X Transbots ones. I didn't really feel the need to go into them based on and because of the price, but seeing the next one, right, the Wild Rider version, the Black
Yeah.
Ferrari, like I just really like that alt mode. And yeah, I could go buy a diecast Ferrari, but knowing it turns into the robot, is kind of fun to me. Just being like a car person, and liking it. So like I'm excited for this Prime to see where it's at. And I have like zero frustrations, annoyances with buying it again. I just seen a lot of people that are seem really upset or take it so personally that, they're not getting something else they want or that they feel compelled, I guess. Right. Dave, you and I were talking about it and you said, this is part of what makes you lose a little bit of your excitement around Transformers, but I'm like, why get frustrated about it? Either choose not to buy it or choose to get it.
Right, but you're not. I can't be you, Gary. Like like you're selective.
No, you could.
Listen. I'm a little too far gone from that. You know what I mean?
If you subscribe to my online workshop,
it's 5 easy steps.
So like when it comes to like Autobot, Decepticon, Masterpiece, like I'm not really missing much. There's like hardly anything that I am. So I'm with those other people that like, hey, I'm almost getting to where I need to be, where I got a character of both fractions on each side, and it looks good, and I'm happy. And now they're redoing everything. So, like I said before, they're reaching in my pocket, and I'm letting them in it. You know what I mean? I'm basically I'm taking my wallet out. You know what I mean? Before they get there, but so it just stinks because like how long is this going to go on? You know what I mean? Like, if they decide to revamp, let's say another 5 characters, it's going to be another 3 years before we get those 5 characters. And in between that, all the third-party companies are going to start doing the same, revamping other characters before Takara will do it. Make it more tune. Instead of giving us stuff that we don't have, like what we're used to them doing. They're going to just keep giving us more of the same.
It's a danger. That's a danger right there. Like, and that's why I think like I don't think we're ever gonna get all the masterpiece characters, like because they will keep redoing these characters we already have. But we've said it though because again, as different ways to make these things, like as things get upgraded, as things improve, and we're going to get better engineering, we're going to get more ingenuity when it comes to this stuff, and to me that's always interesting. I think that's why I'll always keep buying them. So it's interesting, Dave, that you're saying you're in that dilemma where you're like you want to be done but you're hesitant to keep kind of throwing your money down, but you still are, like, what I'm saying? Like, you still in. Are you going to be more selective in the future though? Like if it's a brand new figure, are you going to go in even though it's a character they've already previously released?
Well, it's got to be one of the key players. Like, I'm not gonna not to knock like X Transbots with their Stunticons and what they're doing with that. They look cool. They're I thought about jumping in on that stuff, but Takara, Fans Toys, if they do something, I might pick it up. Anybody else, if it's a character that, it might be appealing to me, but I might have already, I might wait.
So let me ask you, Marvel Legends and Black Series Collector, something. Because with the digital face paint now, it's not like it's you're going to get a complete aesthetic mismatch with what's going on, and like especially with the Black Series. I'd say the new figures really don't match with the old figures, the ones that had digital face paint. They just look like a completely different line. And same thing with like the MCU figures. Like you compare like what they previously put out when the MCU started versus what you're getting today.
Pack.
What's that, Dom?
Shout out the multiple head packs.
Multiple head packs, yeah.
Or
That's a good idea, actually.
You can send them to me. All your older figures, pay me, and I'll repaint them for you.
But still, you're spending money to basically get something that you already have a representation of. And I guess that's Dave. That's kind of what you're saying is you want that end game, but it's not coming. And is that frustrating, or is it?
I mean, it's not frustrating to the point where I can't sleep at night, but it's frustrating to to sit here and say, okay, like I got this. Do I keep it? Or do I go with the new one? The new one does look better. You know what I mean? And then I'm not the type to sell my stuff. I mean, I have done NJCC from time to time, but prior to that, I'm not the type to post stuff and sell it in the group. So I'll hold on to this shit. And that's me just losing money. That's me being stupid. And who's going to buy a figure that's 7 years old, 7 years outdated when the new one's dropping in 2 months?
Yeah.
It's not worth shit now.
With Figuarts, I got the Figuarts Thor from Asian Kid Matt, and I look, it's a good figure. When I look at the head sculpt next to other new Figuarts I have, because I didn't get into Figuarts until last year because of you motherfuckers and Bobby. But I look at it next to, I'm like, man, I really just want an updated, Phase 1, Phase 2 Thor. This doesn't look good. It's just got, a hand-painted look. It doesn't look digital. It looks like a high-end action figure from another line, whereas everything else has, digital paint. I got the Captain America, and ever since Brian put it in my head, I'm like, this doesn't really look like Chris Evans.
Wait, that wasn't me. That was Jose.
No, that was me.
That was Gary.
Oh, that was Gary. Gary
I think he looks perfectly like Chris Evans. I
don't like that. I don't like the Civil War Captain America. I sold that thing right away. I think it was because of that, because I didn't really like the head sculpt.
The Infinity War one, it doesn't have like the same kind of digital paint job that the rest of them have, and I can't unsee it now. So if they came out with a better head sculpt for that, I'd probably double dip. Yeah. And that's a figure I literally just got from a line that I love. And I'm already thinking if a replacement comes out, I'd be willing to buy it, and that sucks.
I love double dipping. It's so much fun.
I think you guys are doing this wrong. See, I'm looking at these things from a good 4 feet away, and they look perfect.
You need LASIK.
You need the
glasses.
Stop looking so close.
How many glasses of that gin did you have before you started the show?
Don't you worry about my gin.
Look at me, Brian. Into me.
Yeah.
You sounded like my mom. Don't you worry about what I'm drinking.
Yeah. Well, a figure like Optimus Prime could almost be like a bad example, because a lot of us could just tend to be Prime collectors, even if we're not consciously like thinking about it. Like it's a favorite character of all of ours, and we just tend to buy, any Optimus Prime figure that comes out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
you said before. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say we had the discussion a few weeks ago with the side swipes. So I mean, this one's a little bit different. Yeah.
I'll just say this. I think accepting and not being surprised that things are going to change and evolve, like it's definitely affected the way that I collect, I think, and the way I look at it differently. I'm enjoying the thing you guys have heard me gush in the chats and stuff for probably the last couple months. Like I'm having more fun than I've had probably the last few months and the last couple of years. And it's not just because of the variety of items, but which is part of it. There's a lot of lines and things to choose and look at. And I bought some stuff I never thought I would have maybe bought before.
T-Rex.
But by not being limited, what'd you say, Tom?
T-Rex.
Oh, don't be jealous of the T-Rex.
No, I'm not.
Wait till I put a saddle on it and put some mythic
You gotta say like John
on
Hammond.
there.
We have a T-Rex.
See, now you threw me off. I was like,
Okay.
what I was gonna say is it's changed my habits, because like I was telling Dave, like I ordered the Bad Cube side swipe because I really like how it looks, and it's not toon, it's not toy, it just looks really cool. I like the alt mode, I'm excited for it, and that's changed some of my decisions, because I never got Sunstreaker, but now I'm gonna order Sunstreaker because if you have one, I kind of want the other one for that. And you guys, I'm not one that does. I don't do teams.
What you mean, Red Alert?
Yeah.
We're getting them, Dave. We're getting them.
I like Red Alert because it has the properly engineered doors. Like that's
Yeah.
But
Gary, your shelves are looking crowded, man. I don't know. Your approach is suspect. I don't know.
He's been getting more stuff he likes, so he hasn't been selling as much stuff lately.
yeah,
That's what
no,
it
I
is.
haven't anything. I've got, yeah, if you should, yeah, if I did some shelf life pictures, it look a lot different than it did, but it's cool. I don't know. So it's definitely affecting, my buying habits, a little bit of my displays. It's true. It's yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm open to the new ideas and stuff, like the way Generation Toy did. This new Beast Primal that they put
oh
out.
yeah.
The robotic Primal. I mean that thing is great. Like I love that thing, and I think I'm in for that line. And again, it's a different idea. It's a different take on the G1 stuff, and I'm completely open to that stuff because that's kind of what keeps that G1 spirit alive. A little bit different than what you're used to, but it's still kind of like the characters that you love and stuff like that.
Right.
So I hope more companies do that in the
Like
future.
cross
So,
dimension,
Jose,
doing the same thing.
I guess this is kind of a question for everybody, but do you think that part of the reason why we're kind of feeling like there's stagnation and redundancy is that they're not, we're not getting, we haven't had good fiction in a while, and and not everybody's keen on Beast Wars, right? Or the Bay films. We have like polarizing lines. Like like most people, you're either like G1, you like Beast Wars. So some people like me like both.
I like both.
Some people like Dom and I like both. And then the Bay films are very, very polarizing. And for a lot of people, I think that there's nothing like G1 to captivate them. And you think that's one of the reasons why it's kind of stale for people, and it's kind of hard to get people sold on like the Generation Toy takes on things. And the IDW stuff, because it's just not compelling for them, or is it just they were only in it for G1,
Yeah.
I think that's a crutch. I think that's like a bad relationship when you look back on someone and you're like, hey, it was so great, and you remember stuff and it really wasn't, because the G1 fiction isn't good. It's not good.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the animation, but even the storylines, it's not good.
But
it's like
it goes back.
when we were little.
It goes back to last week's subject, nostalgia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it kicks in, and that's what takes over sometimes.
Yeah. And that's why it's a generational thing. Like when you have those people, the fans that love Beast Wars, because it's usually something that they grew up with, and you might have somebody like Asian Kid Matt, shout out to that kid, who grew up like with the RID stuff in the early 2000s, and that's kind of like his G1. And he enjoys that, even though the most of us that grew up in the 80s might think it's shit, So it just depends on what you grew up with, and again, like you said, Dave, it goes back to that nostalgia.
Well, I think Jordan had a really good point though, because I never really thought of this, but like there's been some stuff. I'm trying to think of an example, and I'm drawing a blank, but I know that there's been like new figures that have tried to have some type of fiction,
like the cross dimension,
or a comic, or or a storyline attached to it, and no one seems to really pay it any attention. They don't care. You never hear anyone really talk about it. They're just all about the actual toy itself. So I don't know that a fiction really makes a difference one way or the other. Well, as adults,
I find that at least on Instagram, a lot of people that I used to talk to were really into the IDW stuff. So and Gary, I started getting into that, and the figures drew me in even more. Once I started getting the MMC figures, so that fiction was here for a little while, and it was keeping people captivated with that and those toy lines.
But did you go back and read them, Dave?
I have sets of the books and everything.
Oh, okay. All
right. Since those comics were so based on character as opposed to gimmick, I mean, they should just make them not transform and just put them out by the truckload. I think that they would be just as popular. I know there's a lot of debate over that Flames Toys drift, but I think the price had a lot to do with that too, with people's opinions. But
so what would you think the best way to put those kind of characters out would be? Like Chug,
fucking
Masterpiece?
No, action figure like a Marvel,
so like a $20 to $25 price point. Something that doesn't transform, but is a good, accurate representation of the character. I think I'd be in for that.
I think also too, one of the things with G1, one of the things that it harkens back to, I mean, obviously you got all us old heads in here who love it, but dude, they transform into cool fucking things. So
Mhm.
you know, and the
See,
Bayverse. I
see,
mean,
that's
their
a
alt
good-
modes are kind of cool, but dude, they transform into fucking aliens, man. I guess if you're not an aliens fan, you're not really into them.
See now,
I watched that. What is it? Toys That Make Us, the Transformers.
Mhm.
They were making Transformers that changed into space, very exotic, spaceships and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
and,
the
and the
Diaclone.
market, and the market lost interest. So they went and they transformed into things that we can relate to, like a plane, a car, a truck. So that sparked some interest, and I think with our type of generation, we're used to that, and that in itself as a toy is just cool. So it's like it doesn't need to have the and you just having a toy that can transform from a plane to a robot is pretty cool. So
Yeah, I mean,
someone made.
I was just say, do we relate more to robots than we do to aliens? Maybe that's where the Bayverse disconnect is from.
yeah, probably.
Totally.
Well, you also
thoughts, but if someone.
I was gonna say, you also didn't get time with the robots in the Bayverse, and that's the biggest problem.
Yeah, well, yeah. But I just feel that the interesting thing I would like to know is that is the people that weren't going in on the Bad Cube Sideswipe, are they going in on the Optimus?
Yes.
Or vice versa. Are you going in on the? If you're going in on the Sideswipe, are you going to go in the Optimus? Because it's that to me is just interesting. Because if you're in on the Optimus but you're not in the Sideswipe, then why?
Well, why? Because there's people that will solely collect Optimus Prime for who he is.
Or
look behind Jordan. Jordan has like 3 or 4 editions of Optimus that came out in the last year.
Yeah.
Let's put those freaks in the closet.
Whoa! Hey, Brian.
I'm a focus freak. Is that it?
No, but the Optimus is an official product, though. Like that's
Exactly,
that's a defining factor right there. Like
Reputation has a bit to do with it too, with Bad Cube especially.
And
Plus,
Greg, I understand that Optimus is more of a one of the lead characters of Transformers, but I think Sideswipe is also a cool character in the show, and he's Lamborghini.
And he just got a revision from Takara as well. So did Red Alert. I bought both of them.
I'm just interested. I'm just wanting to know.
See, I'm really torn because I like them, but I don't. I'm just bored with the redundancy of, like Make Toys started it redoing the Seekers, and now Bad Cube's redoing, Sideswipe and Red Alert, and I don't know.
And no one can make a good cliff jumper right now.
Yeah, and we can't get figures. We can't fill those holes.
So you're not happy with the remakes because it's taking away from characters that haven't yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I love the Make Toys Seeker. The Starscream that they did. I love that one. I love it.
Agreed.
But I don't know. I just feel that Hasbro, Takara themselves aren't, they don't really care what we think regardless.
Come on. Did you watch the Toys That Made Us? That old man? Not now. He cares about us.
Yeah, not now. Not anymore.
Well, we're not going to get it from Takara.
It's a bunch of millennials running the company, making the decisions. All they know are Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader and Optimus Prime. That's all they know. Yeah. There's no good fiction. There's nothing there's nothing to make it interesting.
Well, that's
where would you start, JD?
What?
If you were running the show, I'm not saying this to be a smart ass or anything, or
yeah, you are.
Wow. I mean, just where if it was you in that position, and right now you're feeling it's kind of stagnating, it's stale. What would your first call to arms be to alleviate that?
All right, so say all the designs are still there, everything is as it stands. I'd probably focus on giving it a good storyline to back it up. From there, I'd make sure that if these toys are being made, that they're going to be distributed properly.
Good point. Yep.
That's another problem, I think.
Oh, absolutely. And even with Masterpiece, like the price of Masterpiece is absurd right now. And I personally think they should take the bluefin approach, and they need to try and, get rid of this antiquated idea that Hasbro has that everything has to be ages 8 and up. I understand they can never sell MP36 over here conventionally, but I think not just with Hasbro America, they need to, the demand for Masterpiece is all over, and they need to look at what we're paying and say, do we make more money selling lemonade for $10 a glass or for $5 a glass, and open up that global marketplace. Like, I think Figuarts has gained popularity because you can go to a brick and mortar store and see a Figuarts and go, oh, that's what this is all about,
See, but it's interesting though, like, because in the past, like in Toys R Us's and stuff, I've seen plenty of Masterpieces lining the shelves, looking like nobody's wanted them, and it's because, like, I don't know, we're not that big of the market, the hardcore collectors and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But we import our shit.
Yeah,
so but apparently it doesn't look like the mainstream market's buying, because I've seen plenty of it on the shelf.
Problem too, because like JD was saying, you don't know where your stuff's going to come from, so we have to resort to buying it online. So by the time it does show up in Toys R Us, we've already bought it from some e-tailer. Well, Toys R Us kind of gone that. Well, yeah. And then the other thing too is, like, the bounty hunters. They're a popular minor group of characters in Star Wars, and they're interesting. And you can't fucking find them. I never saw Boba Fett from the Black Series in person, and that's criminal. Those are characters that should be well distributed, easy to define. He is a criminal.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they got a lot of different bad things going on. There's lack of fiction. And the fact that a lot of us are like, dude, we'll never see this in the wild to pick up, kind of thing.
I was talking to Deluxe earlier, and it's like, no, I was talking to you guys too. How, like, every time I go into a store now, it's like the Wave 1 Power of the Prime stuff, and they, it's like Wave 2 hit 5 below. So look at all the people that are gonna have incomplete Volcanicus. That was a character they were pushing. The Dinobot Combiner had a lot of people that did want it. And Wave 2's distribution was so shit that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to get frustrated.
They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. So the modern audience, they're kind of frustrating them out of being collectors. Like, oh, this stuff's not selling as well. Let's pass the buck over to the Masterpiece collectors. And you frustrate the fuck out of them, and they resort to third party and KO and looking for an end game. This stuff should be priced and made available to keep people captivated.
Like, to be honest, on my end, I don't even really care anymore.
Well, I care, because when I watch the Toys That Made Us, I want to drive down to Paul Tuckett and smack the dick out of John Warden's mouth right where he works.
I appreciate these for what they are. You know what I mean? That's how I met you guys. You know what I mean? It's how I met a lot of people because of Transformers and collecting. But now I've shifted my interest,
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yes.
They're leaving me hanging,
Right.
Yeah, but who are you putting the blame on though? Because, like, Takara, I don't think any one of us could ever expect them to give us every character in a masterpiece
they're not gonna
type
be
form. So they're not gonna fill that hole. You know what I'm saying? So, like, do we have to? Are we depending on third party? Is it third party's job to come and make sure that we get every single character that that was in the catalog from 30 years ago? Like, I don't know.
Well, at least get the ones that matter.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
most of
fiction
them
would help it.
The ones that matter, like.
But the fiction,
JD,
the fiction is the G1, because that's all any one of us want to buy. You know what I'm saying? So the fiction's already there. It's been done.
Yeah, but look, I'm going to go on a limb.
Redo it.
Say,
reboot it.
No one on the no one on this panel, and I doubt anyone in the chat, is in the boardroom, at Takara or whoever, talking and knows what the true, business intentions and and what adds value and costs and production and see all the sales numbers, what it really looks like. So
for them, it's pennies at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Robert D had a good point. How they're just testing to see how much they can take and take and take and take until there's nothing left.
Yep.
That's not true, Jordan. I disagree. We're getting angry at businesses for trying to make a profit, and that's fine. So sooner or later, people will stop buying it. We take it. That's the thing. It's like collectors take everything so personally and so emotionally.
Hang on a second. Ready?
It's like here it comes. Go ahead.
Garbage product.
Do you think that maybe the top executives at Hasbro change a lot, and maybe like someone new comes into such and such department, and like, hey, you know what would be good? Let's make an Optimus Prime, and then everyone else is like, this fucking guy. Yeah, all right, fine.
Let's make a transforming skyscraper.
I don't get it. It's a building. It turns into a robot. I don't get it. What's the fun in that?
Well, like the bug that turns into a robot.
Like I get
Transformers for girls, Brian.
I missed those McDonald's Transformers.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Dave. What were you saying?
Milkshakes in disguise.
I remember those.
No, Dave, you're about to say something. Sorry about that.
He's not answering.
One moment you think.
Oh, sorry, you guys broke up with me. Sorry, you guys broke up.
Oh.
I live by JFK Airport, so the fucking planes just fucking fly over here. I might lose my Wi-Fi for a second.
I got you. No, I think we rock rolled you there for a minute.
Oh no, that's fine, man. I'm used to that shit. But I was gonna say, what pisses me off is like when I first started collecting Takara, right? And you know how they number each character. I always thought they were just gonna keep going with the fucking numbers, but how many numbers do we have already of Prime? And how it's just like get somewhere.
This will be number 4.
Get somewhere, like fucking. Just give us something different, something new. Like, they gave us Sunstreaker, yes, but now give us something, come out a little more frequently, and I probably won't be as pissed off because I won't be spending my money on a third-party figure that's inferior to it,
I'm thinking like how it's just
That's like,
I don't know how long. I'm sorry, JD. Go ahead, bro.
No, I just feel like, is that JDD?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I didn't say anything.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
do we know how well Sunstreaker did?
We all have it, right?
Can you find it?
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's how you know.
Well, he was an MP car at a higher price point, right? Like the first car that was 120 compared to what 80, 85 that the other ones cost. So I mean, we all griped and bitched, but we all got one, right?
Yeah, exactly, Jose. And I'm going to call shenanigans because Dave, if Transformers were being pumped out at such a high rate, you would have never discovered Hot Toys. Whoa. You would have never moved on to that line.
Dave, he went there.
No, I'm being
he's probably right, but
you would have never looked at other interests.
Yeah, because it has to pique my interest. I'm not gonna buy something just for sake of spending my money.
Yeah,
I want to be interested in it, and that's why I fell off with Transformers is because I lost interest. They just started doing, things that were not needed. Essentially, they didn't get to the characters that I was looking for. So I pick and chose what I bought. So, for every one Transformer, I bought 5 Star Wars toys because I knew what I was getting and what I was into. You know what I mean?
Is the writing on the wall, though, guys? Like, because, I mean, we are an aging generation. Like, how often can Takara cater to the G1 crowd when now you got the Beast Wars crowd that are young adults making money and they're probably going to start catering to people like that now?
I think they are.
They already are.
Well, whether you like it or not, Beast Wars is part of G1.
I mean, I don't hate it. I'm not arguing against it, but it's like if you're the type that you're G1 only and you don't care about Beast Wars, so like now, how is Takara going to grab you with Masterpiece if they're going to be focusing on Beast Wars and lines that have been released past that?
It's
going to happen.
I am cool with this Optimus Prime if it's going to be a regeneration to them to finish off some of the other characters, because they're definitely going to sell Optimus Prime. They're going to color it black. They're going to color it yellow. They're going to color it red. They're going to put all
guaranteed repaints.
Yeah, there are going to be thousands of repaints. Everybody's going to still get pissed off about that.
Guys, know what I just realized?
What?
This new Optimus that they're putting out, That's because of that Beast Wars episode. This is a Beast Wars fucking figure.
It is.
That's what it is.
And they're gonna give him. They're gonna put a chair on the ark.
That's right. He's gonna sit there. That's what this is. This is just another character in their Beast Wars line. God damn. Fucked up.
I say if this can get them to that ends or to that means, I'm all for it. But if it doesn't, then I'm going to be pissed because I would love to see what they can do with the Jazz. I would love to see what their Hound would look like. I would love to see certain other characters that they would produce. So,
Not me.
oh well,
like
you did.
don't you have a Hound already? Fansoy's Hound.
I got a Fansoy's Hound, but I would love to see their Hound. I would love to see what the official would do.
I want to see them do the 86 movie crowd. I want a good Optimus Prime. I'm sorry, a good Rodimus Prime. I want a good Springer, RC, Cup, that aren't nightmarish to transform, that have good tolerances. I want a good Galvatron and Cyclonus and Scourge, to be honest with you. And I want to see them do the triple changers. I know they can do Astro Train and Blitzwing, and I definitely know they can do Octane.
Here, I'll put it in Hot Toys perspective, Dave.
I haven't.
I can't wait till Hot Toys does a Captain Rex. I can't wait until Hot Toys does a General Grievous. That stuff like that. You know the brand that can do the best, and you just sometimes have to wait.
And
you're trying to talk to my inner soul right now because you knew I wanted those figures from Sideshow. So you're telling me to wait for the Hot Toys because it's a better product.
That's what I'm saying.
But
Everything.
who are we to fucking know what's gonna come out next?
We don't.
Exactly.
We should have been getting a fucking Cliff Jumper or a Hound like you guys keep asking for from Takara. Instead, what we got was another fucking Optimus. So
everything you just said was
Hot Toys is gonna come out with 15 more fucking Iron Man before they do a Captain Rex.
I want.
They gotta fund that Captain Rex.
The collectors get themselves worked up over stuff that they want and then get upset that it doesn't come to fruition when no one said it was coming. No one said that you're entitled to get it.
Listen, I'm patient. I'm here. I got nowhere to go. I'll wait. If it doesn't come, that's a different point. But if it does come eventually, then I'll wait for it.
Yeah, I do see your point, Gary. Though I see your point. Nobody's entitled. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no one's entitled, but
we're not guaranteed.
So JD said something interesting. He said he's kind of bored, right, with the Transformer stuff, and he looked at other interests, right? I think is that fair?
Yeah.
Where I'm the opposite. Like this, a Bad Cube Sideswipe that I think looks cool, and a new Prime that I think looks pretty neat and could be fun. Like my interest has come way back around, you know what I mean, and a 180 and looking at a different line after going through, Hot Toys and a lot of other stuff at the same time. I don't like those any less, but I think if this is what's coming out, I'll make the decision. Do I like it? Do I not like it? Do I buy it? Do I not buy it? I'm not going to have any emotion of it either way. But, no one's got that Cliff Jumper, right? No one owns Cliff Jumper yet and has it in hand.
Why?
All they do is say it again. You got him?
I have one.
Yeah.
You guys ever hear
so no one really knows.
fly off the handle?
You just robot there, George.
Yeah.
That robot. I said, anybody ever hear Casey Kasem fly off the handle?
No.
Where are we going with this?
Well, because he was the voice of Cliff Jumper, and I think it would be fitting.
I think I heard. Yeah, I think
He was the voice of Shaggy too, right? In Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's some.
But he's like he has to do. He's told after coming out of an up-tempo song to do a dedication for a dead dog, and he flies off the fucking handle. And I would love to hear someone do an angry rant about the Cliff Jumpers in Casey Kasem's voice. Why do we have to go up an up-tempo goddamn discussion and talk about all these lack of fucking options? When the fuck is Takara going to come out with their... No, don't shush me. God damn it. We've got a lot of stuff coming out, but I want it now, god damn it. If we don't have a steady stream of goddamn news, I can't be goddamn satisfied. But my point is, it seems like we're not satisfied with what we have and what's actually coming out in the next few months. We're more concerned about the future than the near future.
I think that's what I think collectors need to focus on what they have and enjoy,
live in the moment. People live in the moment and
live in the moment. But let me ask a question.
It's not a race.
Gary, we all know you get tired of something. You're like, you know what? I don't have room for it. I don't care for it no more. It's out the door. Peace out. But there's other people, right? Dom, for you, for example, right? You don't sell something you replace all the time, right?
Don't.
So when does space become an issue for you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It's an issue, but I've never sold a toy like I'm not going to sell my MP10.
It's not an issue for Dom because he doesn't have anything on display.
And not yet. He has an end game, but like
if I had my 5 fucking shelves, Gary, I'll put 5 fucking shelves up and I'll put like my dinosaur there and my fucking Voltron there.
Tommy, I'll just get a storage unit and just like
decorate his wife's gonna come barging in like a minute. Be like, you're not putting those shelves up in here.
No, but I'm not even talking about that. We Dom doesn't have his display room up, neither do I. But I'm saying, Dom, you're gonna buy.
But I have it. I fucking have those toys.
And you have 26 Optimuses, right? Mm-hmm. You have 45 Iron Men. You have 100 fucking Black Series figures. Eventually, right? They're gonna keep coming out with the same thing over and over. When does that stop for you?
It doesn't. I'm just going to collect it. I'm going to collect it. I'm going to enjoy them, and then when I don't know what guys. I got an end goal. I got an end game to what I want to do with my collection. And
Highlander end game.
It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like
it doesn't sound like it at all.
On and on and on and on. See, what I'm trying to say is myself, I'm already thinking about, you know what? Wait. I have MP10 Takara and I have Hasbro. Why do I need them both? And then I'm going to get a third version? So I'll sell one of them.
So wait, like an end game, what is an end game to you guys? Is it like, I have to stop collecting? Is that an end game?
I think your collection is complete.
No, end game on, let's say, just a specific character. One character. You have an end game.
Like, dude, I'm going to be collecting toys until I die.
There you go.
Okay. That's just fact. Okay. So I'm gonna buy what I want to buy, and if I could display all of it, I'm gonna try dying. I'm gonna try to die and do that, and just get it all displayed that I can possibly can. And that's it.
Get some carbs in you, bro, because that could be tomorrow.
Yeah, well.
So JD, I asked you the same question because you have your stuff out, but it sounds like you don't want to buy another rendition of something to take up more room.
He has a whole fucking house.
I'm content. I enjoy what I have. I love sitting in this room. I'm okay with what's on these shelves. I don't need to necessarily replace it. Of course, if it's
we don't need to have any of this stuff, though. That's the point.
Well, exactly.
Stop your lies.
Stop your lies.
You just lied to yourself.
A need.
But it's not
the crack addiction.
A replacement isn't going to make me any happier than I already am.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I like that statement. That's good.
If you're happy doing what you're doing, then I think it's fine.
But that's the thing. So many people seem unhappy. They seem unhappy with stuff that's supposed to bring them joy.
I don't know those people.
Yes, you do. Yeah. Yes, you do.
Who do I know that are not happy? You're happy, Gary, aren't you?
Oh, I'm very happy.
Yeah, the thing is like, I think we might have touched on it before. Like, I always felt like what Dom said. I'm gonna keep collecting till I die. Like, sometimes I have those lulls. I might be more interested, some months than others. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's in some way, some form, some fashion, I'm always gonna be collecting something as far as action figures in this Transformers brand, because it's a brand and other things that I love. Even if it's a movie, a comic book, like whatever, like we're all collectors in some way. Like, do you ever see that dying in any of you? Like, I don't, right?
What, collecting stuff?
Collecting, yeah. Whether it's figures or anything else in general. Like, you were bringing it up, like an end game. Like,
I can't see myself being 65, 70 years old, fucking on Ami, worried about the next fucking figure to come out. I can't. Like then I'm gonna be more into probably something else. You know what I mean? Like
Probably
penile prosthesis.
yeah, I don't know, trying to work on my erectile dysfunction or something. You know, like it's like
Hopefully that day never comes.
You like open up a treadmill.
Oh, it will. It will.
So
Slapping it. Slapping
I don't know. It's funny when you say that though, because I mean we're not that far off. Like so, like I don't know. Like
I can't see myself.
20 years from now, 25 years from now,
Question for the panel.
High school felt like 20. Like a snap.
How
many, and that's 20 years ago.
How many more versions of Masterpiece Optimus do you think we'll get in the next 25 years?
20.
At least 10.
I'd say 2.
Yeah, listen, I said the 3.0 was coming out. In fucking 5 years, you'll have one that talks, walks, and fucking transforms itself. Okay?
We don't know if they'll do
every Olympics we get Optimus Prime.
It's gonna be like that movie with the fucking soldiers and the fucking yeah, there you go.
Well, Optimus Prime,
small soldiers.
Small soldiers.
Guys, but it's nothing new. It's like they do this. They regenerate lines. They regenerate characters.
Scales
going to happen.
Because I mean, and think about it.
Turtles. They always regenerate characters and lines. It's always going to happen.
Yeah. It's like we just brought up about it being generational. You know?
I just get on the train and enjoy the ride.
There's just a few more I want, and I would really like them before I die. So,
which are those characters though? Like, shout them out real quick.
I mean,
which are the ones you're still waiting?
Cliff Jumper. I want a decent Blitzwing.
Well, he's coming. Cliff Jumper's coming, so there's going to be a version, even though you might not be happy with it. But there's like 4 or 5 versions coming out.
Yeah, there's 2.
Yeah, there's 2.
Let's go back to the beginning. Remember the time when third party was new and this shit wasn't coming out, and like all of a sudden we see some fucking third party coming out, and we're like, oh my god, this is just so fucking wonderful. I'm getting a fucking Astro Train.
Well, to
Dom's like,
point,
my Astro Train sucks, dude. When's the next one coming?
Dom's point there for a minute, like,
what the fuck, dude?
Because we didn't know we'd get an official.
Yep.
And then same thing with Shockwave. Like we didn't know where the licensing stood with what's the name of that the space gun that Radio Shack had? Yeah, so that's like where I think third party really kind of came into being like a staple. Was they were giving us stuff that we thought we would, and we thought we would never get things filled in the Masterpiece line, and now we're like kind of demanding that it is filled in.
Yeah.
Well, it's a weird thing, because I think there's a point where I accepted that we probably wouldn't get every single character made officially.
All I'm saying is there's a few characters I want before I die. So let's hurry up and make them within the next year. Come on, let's do it.
What's your number 1, JD?
I don't know that I have a number 1. I want to finish these fucking headmasters already. It's getting closer, thankfully.
I mean, I think Fans Toys got you there. No, it looks like we've gotten some reveals, and it looks like
I feel really truly feel that the Phantom is not spoiled. We've gotten spoiled.
Oh yeah,
and we truly need to understand that whether this is a golden age, whether it will come down and slow down. And then we're going to be back in that same saddle saying, where the fuck are the Transformers? Why can't I get more Masterpiece and stuff like that? And there's a possibility that might just happen, where all this shit will all go away. And there's going to be 5-6 years we're not going to get anything. And and then all of a sudden your fucking Astro Train from DX9 is going to go skyrocket up. And you're like, I need a fucking Astro Train.
Maybe it just harkens back to when we were kids walking through those toy aisles when you could find everything was there, and your parents were like, no, you can only have 1, maybe 2, or something like that. And now it's like, I'm ready to walk down that toy aisle and fucking swoop it like fucking bricks.
Buy them all.
Videos, and there's nothing to swoop.
I mean, if you want some commando spawns, I can hook you up there. I got my Toys R Us, man. Dude, I don't know what they were thinking.
Mine still has all those Marvel Phoenixes.
Woohoo! Mine's got Kitty Pryde and Female Beetle.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
So-
I mean, there's no better time to be a collector than now. We've said it before, I think, and we do forget at times, like, with the amount of stuff that's out there and the amount of choice
I
that we
never
have
forget.
compared to a few years ago,
And I think also too, I mean, a lot of us have been in this game for a while, and we do forget the people that are out there just kind of
they're
getting
coming
started.
in. Yeah,
And
we're fucking jaded.
dude,
Yeah, we're
they
fucking
can
grizzly
swoop
old
life.
men.
Like, dude, these guys, I mean, if they've got the funds, I mean, they can order 20 figures a day, and have a week of fucking awesomeness just being delivered at their door. It's just awesome.
Yep, that's a PSA right there. Shout out to higher learning. Go to school, kids. Get a good job. Make some money. You can buy all the toys you want.
I don't know. Jose, I'm going to disagree with you, though, because I don't think that we're all jaded. I think that we disappoint ourselves by setting expectations that we formed in our heads. And if that's the case, then, maybe take a step back and look at why you're choosing to spend money on this instead of something else, or spend money at all. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think we overthink it, and then we lose the original spirit of that the stuff's supposed to make you happy.
Bring us happy, yeah. Exactly.
I mean, I'm always,
it's almost
I'm
become
always,
a job. Like it was almost like it's like a.
It's time to change. It's time to change it.
And I always kind of speak in like generalizations, like as far as like what I'm seeing, because I never personally like bitch about this stuff myself. Like I enjoy the stuff that comes out, and I either buy it or I don't. Like you, Gary. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if I think it's something cool, and it doesn't have to be something we grew up with. Nostalgia doesn't have to factor in for me. Like in the case with the Unrustables, like I think the only nostalgic thing about that is that it's a transforming robot. You know what I'm saying? But the original concept of that and these upcoming Astrobots that are coming out,
Astrobots, yes,
those are a cool concept that I'm completely like down with. You know what I'm saying? And I'm down for it. I'm not sure if everybody else is, but I'm keen and open to new ideas like that, and that's the kind of stuff I'd like to see more of.
I really would prefer the fandom to just enjoy what's coming out and don't play the game and saying, oh, they made another Optimus, or they made another Sideswipe, or they upgraded this figure, or whatever the case may be. And I just think if you just focus on what the toy is, and and if it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, it's not. Don't get into that game where you're just comparing what came out before than what's coming out now. There's just been time. Like it's like Optimus Prime was like there for 4 years. Like 4 years, they're definitely going to make a better one. They're always
a good way to look at it is like you're going to play the same Xbox 360.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to come out with a new one.
They're going to come out with a new one. Like Call of Duty. How many fucking Call of Duties have they been showing
every 6
months in the last 10 years? You know what I'm saying? Like they're always going to come out with a new one, and then you're going to enjoy that one for what it is, and don't compare it.
You don't ever have to get rid of that Call of Duty either.
I still like that Modern Warfare too.
Yeah.
It's like this. Let's put it in a more realistic perspective, though. That's not a want and maybe more of a need for probably almost all of us, Jose. I know because with you living in the city, but you don't get a good quality car and then get pissed off 5 years from now because Toyota redesigned the Camry, and the new Camry is safer and more fuel efficient and has more technical luxuries and amenities in it, and then think that the one you have is a piece of shit. It's just
I do that all the
different,
time because I lease. Like fuck that. Like every 2-3 years, get a new car.
Yeah, but the analogy that's almost not fair though, Gary, because like you always every year a car model gets upgraded. You expect that an Optimus Prime, like we can always expect, hey, eventually we might get an upgrade, but you don't know if that's coming or not.
And Gary, there's people like that will trade up because like, damn, mine's not as good as this one.
So like when you
I don't disagree. But you can't get upset that the new one is better than the one that you currently have because it's evolution, and that's what happens.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's my point. Is it's like you can't be like what I have is garbage, and I'm angry that they made it better, or it's faster, or it's more reliable. It's like.
The only thing you can't do that with is your wife, so you're in trouble doing that shit.
You can upgrade. You can get fake boobs. It
goes back to the argument that I made about Marvel Legends and Star Wars earlier, right? Because it's like those figures that you'd get upset if they weren't better coming out. Like it's always like, man, I really wish they'd had double ball pegs to the heads. I wish they all had ab crunch. I wish the female characters had double jointed elbows.
They do have double ball pegs in the head, by the way.
Now, yeah,
Now
The
they do.
female characters had camel toe. You know, we'd be all
right,
happy.
exactly.
you know.
Articulated
Exactly.
camel. You know, but you know that's the thing is like you want them to make these advancements, and then like you can't fault them when they come out with a new Wolverine or a new Sabretooth or a new Beast or a new like a lot of people are like, oh, I'm happy with my Toy Biz thing. I don't need the one from Hasbro. But that's the thing. Look at how many people
Be happy.
you know are new collectors of Marvel Legends and would just like to have a thing to round out their Fantastic Four. You know,
Have fun.
Right. You know,
Half the time, let's have fun finding it. Sorry.
yeah,
oh, Walgreens, I've never had an issue.
yeah, no, I think we should do here in the realm. We have that blog, right? I think, you know how they have like those call to action weeks, you know, the week for blah 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 or something. I think maybe we should do something where folks in the community, go grab a figure off your shelf and write a blog about everything you like that thing about that thing. You know, it's like, you know, kind of.
Should we do that for next week, Brian?
Get back into the toy
Should we do
thing.
the 7 of us?
Do a show and tell.
No, I want to
Yeah.
global for the
Yeah,
whole community.
show and tell.
Show and tell. You want to do a show and tell?
I'd be curious
Hey,
if anyone in
that
the
would
chat
be-
thinks that
that would
might
be
be
breaking
worthwhile.
news.
That would be fucking interesting.
You know, let's go. Yeah, you're right. Let's like go.
Let's do a show and tell next week.
Or yeah,
but you
do
guys
we
should-
pick it or do we pick
Hey,
it for each other?
Listen, I think
No,
we
no,
all
no, no.
have.
Keep it there.
I think we all have our favorite toy, so nobody wants to see that one. Okay, the same toy that we discovered when we
Right.
were like 12 or 13.
Your
You know what I'm talking
flashlight.
about? Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
Hey,
Lord.
You use soapy water to clean yours.
we'll all be doing show and tell in the dark. It'll be fucking weird.
No, it'd be interesting for everybody to pick like a unique piece from their collection.
I think we should do that. I think we should
Okay.
commit to, you know,
You gotta
kinda-
shut down. You gotta shut off
Exactly.
comments though.
No, it's even better.
This
Well,
is
the chat,
That
the
choice
people in the
sucks.
chat who come back,
an
let the
ale.
people in the chat do the same thing, though. You know, maybe go look through your collection, find something interesting, and then you know that. Like, I think that's a really great idea, Brian. Like, I'm all for
what
it.
I'm saying is, I mean, we have the blog on the website, so I mean, we could
too.
encourage the community to kind of do it, and it might be a good experience for everyone. That everybody fucking calm down, you know, pick up a good toy and like fucking play with it for a week. You know,
You can't comment on the blog, right? Like
Everybody
nobody can
pick up your
comment on
What
the
do
other
you
person.
have comments for? Well, you could always what link it into a post into the
Yeah.
page.
There you go.
Uh,
There you go.
Gonna start a war. Well, that toy's a piece of shit. I don't know how you like that toy. Like,
Yeah, well, that'll help us iron.
No,
That'll
that's
help
it.
us weed out the riffraff on it.
No, but I mean, something like that is kind of like a good idea because you know we always, like we've discussed tonight, we're so focused on what's coming next, and we got so
Exactly.
much shit on our shelves or in our rooms or wherever that you know, are we really enjoying it? And we've discussed that before. Like maybe you know, actively thinking about picking out a piece, messing with a piece you haven't messed with in a while. It might give you a new appreciation for this stuff because we're always so you know, I know it's chasing that high. Like when you get a new figure, something new comes in the mail, or, you know, a fresh haul or whatever. Like it's like, yeah, it's good. And then, you know, you put it on the side and that feeling subsides. And we're always looking for the next hit, you know? So,
Right, so I'm going to say, at least for the 7 of us, we've got homework. And
interesting.
You got another hit, Jose? Jose?
I got a bunch of hits today.
Jose.
hey, Jose, you know, you just said something. You said what's coming next. You know what's coming next?
Yo.
Fans Toys, Optimus Prime coming. Boom. Boom.
You heard it by Dave.
You'll see. You'll see.
I want an Optimus Prime with smoke. on it.
They're gonna
Dude,
pull their fans Toys dick out and say, "Take this to Kara." We've been working
in
on
5
this for the last
years,
2 years.
when Dave's still collecting and that Fans Toys Optimus comes out, he's going to be like, I fucking told you guys. Remember that time I told you? Yeah, it was 5 years ago. It was
Fans
like,
Toys would be smart to make
so-
Orion packs. and
Wait,
the-
let me put my
I don't know if they got the balls. I don't know if they got the balls for that because I mean we got already an MP Shockwave. They never put out their version. We got an MP Rodimus. They haven't put out their version. You know what I'm saying? So you know they seem to be hesitant in case
They never put out their Shockwave.
Yeah, they did.
Soundwave.
Soundwave.
Did I say Shockwave? I'm sorry. I
Said
meant
Shockwave.
Soundwave.
I was like, wait a minute.
The Soundwave.
I think that's a cool idea, man.
Well, I would like to see third party go and have the balls to do stuff like that. Like Bagcube, I'm going to make a side swipe. make toys. I'm going to make a Starscream. I don't give a shit what officials doing. I'm going to make it better. Like I want to see more of that happening.
It's not balls, it's business.
No, they've done it. I mean,
No,
Toy
it's
World
balls,
did their
dude.
Optimus.
It's not balls, Dom. It's not the fucking playground. These are, they're.
It's not the fucking playground. It's the playground, motherfucker. It's the playground.
I mean, there are a few
That's
examples,
playground.
but it doesn't seem to be like the norm. Like we are starting to like. I think Bad Q putting out the red alert in this sideswipe is like a big deal
How's that
in terms of that.
How's that business?
I just realized this Optimus trailer is gonna be flat gray with that just single boring white stripe. That's gonna just look terrible on that huge scale. Yeah.
On the MP?
Yeah.
Have you seen? Are there colored pictures? I haven't seen pics out there. Are there pics out there?
I mean, it's gonna look fucking boring.
Dude, if he doesn't come with a spike, I'm out.
Yeah, I like that Adrian's called it the homework like a book club. That's pretty funny.
What was that?
It's good.
Homework.
Yeah, we're talking about kind of bringing a toy kind of to discuss like in a hangout or for the show, and
Show and
he's
tell.
like it's like a book club. I'm like, yeah, it is kind of like a book club.
Yeah. All right. Well, this was good, man. Good discussion, guys. I everybody had an opinion tonight. I liked it. People had feelings like on the topic, and I think we ran longer on this than we like intended. But it's good, man. It's good, and like I said, this is gonna come up again because they're always going to be putting out an updated version. I'm sure we'll speak about this again in the future.
Oh, you guys don't know about Soundwave coming out? Oh shit!
I just feel like if they keep putting out something good, as long as the product is good, the quality is there. Again, people are gonna have different opinions. Like I keep thinking back to Jay Ruse with the Sunstreaker, like just him in particular being very unhappy with the way the Kibble bits looked, kind of like the way we complained about the Megatron when we saw the pics before it came out. Like I understand that stuff like that could turn people off, and I want to hear more people's like opinions on that. Like if stuff like that bothers you, will that keep you from buying these updated versions that are coming out, or are we just loyalists and are just going to keep buying whatever they put out regardless of how it looks, quality, or whatever. So it's a good question.
We got to get him some of the Kool-Aid. Just make sure
he still has Combiner Wars Devi up there. He won't get the Toy World. So
I'm in the same boat. Don't.
Oh, you too?
I don't like
Toy World Devi. Then
I don't like Toy World.
You just don't like the company?
Yeah,
it don't matter.
Missing out.
Get it anyway. Yeah, you're missing out.
But then one day Jordan will be proved right when Takara fucking announces their Devastator or another third party, fans toys, let's say, puts out their version.
His tease there, so
yeah.
I don't know, man, Jordan. I mean, I sit in this room and I'm looking at it right now. I mean, I'll look at this thing for a half hour.
It has set a standard.
Why don't you bring yours in a couple Saturdays? Change my mind. I'll sit at the table.
The thing is, we don't have the perspective of time. Like, like Dr. Manhattan, they say he could see like all time at once, past, present, future, like eventually on a long enough timeline. Like we're probably all going to get what the fuck we want, eventually, whether we're collecting till we're 65, 70, like I'm sure eventually by that time, we're going to get everything we would have wanted in some way, form or fashion. No?
Yeah.
Agreeable? You know what I'm saying?
That.
We just have to live long enough, I guess, to see it. That's what it is.
So drive to Gary's workout.
Yeah, word up. The ROC
Wellness challenge.
Wellness down. Get your asses in the gym. Start eating right. You want to see your cliff jumper? Put that pizza down.
The hardest truth: air fried food is still fried food.
Exactly. Yes. That's a topic for another day.
All right. Well, good discussion tonight, guys. I loved it. Had a really, really good time. Of course, this always continues. The ROC Hangout unbroadcasted will continue next. We'll throw the link out in the ROC Facebook group. Look out for that. With that, I guess we could start running it down the line. Start saying our goodbyes. What do you think, guys? That's it.
Sure. Do it.
All right. So, Brian Brink, I'll start with you, brother.
You can find me in the Facebook groups. It's Brian Brink, as always. And at Instagram. That's not it. On Instagram. At Brinkalizer. And feel free to follow me and look at the 26 pictures that I've posted in the last 2 years.
Oh man, but when you post, man, like you did with that Optimus Prime cereal this past weekend, that shit was funny, man. Do more shit like that.
Devastator with Grapple and the tower was freaking kick ass too.
Yeah, man.
Out in the yard. Remember that
That's
one?
it. Oh, yeah. I think that's your lane on IG, man. Find it.
Maybe.
All right, Big Dom.
Hey guys, you can find me at Dominic Ross on the Facebook groups, and here Tuesday nights with these fine gentlemen. Yes.
All right,
Dave,
John
Dave.
Attic.
Dom, you been taking improv classes or something, bro?
I love you.
Are they free at like your local public school or something?
Yeah. It's
Oh, that's the best one. Dave saves the best for the end of the night.
you want to come to my local public school, you fuck?
No, we all know the truth that Dom isn't allowed within 50 feet of his public school.
That's the toy man. Stay away from him. He tries to get the little kids for their fucking G1 toys.
Hey,
You guys would take it there. You guys would fucking take it there.
You want to see my
Fucking
red
sick
ranger?
little fucks.
You can touch him for $20. You can even take him home.
Yeah, do you walk that dinosaur? Do you walk that fucking dinosaur around the block? Is that how you do it?
That was great. Oh, Dave, I'm sorry, man. Energize.
It's so good. I'm here on Tuesdays. You gotta know where to
No,
find
you're
me.
not. Not anymore.
Oh man. All right. Extra zero.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at the original Zero. You can find me in the Facebook group James Jordan. Extra Zero on PlayStation Network and Xbox Live. Of course, you can find me here every Tuesday night.
All right. G Money.
Let's see, Gary Allen, the Facebook groups, G Money 1010 on Instagram. I actually just recently followed my friends here, JD and Brian, finally after. And I think I've got Brian beat because I think I have a whopping 3 pictures posted.
Oh, yeah.
No, really good conversation, guys, and I appreciate everybody in the chat too. You know, just kind of staying active and sharing the thoughts and participating and talking to each other. So it's very cool to see. But yeah, had a great night with you guys.
Word up. All right, JD.
Notice how Gary said my friends JD and Brian.
Yeah. Did I speak
just
out of
fuck
line?
the rest of us. It's all good.
No,
rest are
they
his
were
brothers.
recent. You guys were recent, like Instagram.
How many of those 3 pictures are your triceps? Just wanted to know.
Listen.
All 3.
Hey, Dave.
They're triceps.
Anyway, you can find me JD Brocious on the Facebook groups, Pigment Surgery on Xbox Live and Instagram. Tuesday night was with these fine-looking meat bags of meat, and fake bagging whenever that comes back.
Soon.
Say it every week.
I know I should just
We're jinxing
stop
it.
saying it.
Keep it
That's when it
alive,
comes
brother.
back.
Keep it alive. That's what we're doing. Keeping them in suspense.
Well, it looks like the 7 of us will be figure banging a figure next week, right?
Oh,
That's right.
Yes,
Hey, you better be watching.
all right.
be prepared.
And as for myself, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Xbox Live, and the PlayStation Network, all at Harrican BX. Here with these fine gentlemen every single Tuesday night. And I have a podcast of my own called Verbally Challenged with Harrican BX. I usually publish that every single Monday. So please check that out. Remember to check out the website, realmofcollectors.com. Merchandise is available to purchase on the site. Guys, new piece of ROC merchandise. The Rockfather t-shirt is back in production. Get your pre-orders in for the next couple of weeks. It's not going to be live for long. So these guys, the shirt was very popular. Everybody's access. Get the Rockfather shirt back out. So now's your chance to get that. T-shirt in your collection. Check out the website. I believe that's $30 shipped anywhere in the continental U.S. and international. We got you covered. We'll just have to quote you a shipping price after the fact. So please check that out. That's realmofcollectors.com. Shout out to friends of the show at Figure Photography Crate on Instagram, Third Party Unlimited, TF Prototype, kumastyle.com, Retro Now on YouTube, TKO, and the Blackout and Shout crew. Join us on Facebook where there is a group, Realm of Collectors. We're on Instagram. Realm of Realm. Breaking the Mold is a proud part of the Cool Table Network, so please share. It's a hub for like-minded podcasts, including Enter the Realm, Plastic Fanatics, Shattercast Uncut, Toy Detox, Nerd Rage Radio, Beer and Bolters 40K, Stasis Lock 8 weeks, building up to it, and Fresh Communication. You can find the Cool Table on Facebook and all those other great podcasts on iTunes and Google Play. That's the show for tonight, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We are the ROC. We're not going anywhere, so get to know us. We'll see you next week. ROC Hangout up next. Peace out, guys. Later.
Nice.
Later.
Have a great week, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Peace out.